Okay, so I'm going to, this tutorial is made after the action tutorial that I made that is going to be the next video that you shall read. I'm making this as a more basic action one. The last one, well, the one that you will be watching goes more in depth of what you can do with actions and such. This tutorial will be based on how to acquire and the importance of what to do with actions. So first off, you usually will not have what I have up here. Okay, you'll most likely just have the actions. How you get to this panel is you go to Window and Actions. You get this. Now you'll probably only have the default actions here. How you get more, if per chance you are in a group that has given you actions, you go to this thing right here, you click on it, and you will get this list. You will go down to here where you have a load actions and you have directories. Okay, so you will probably have downloaded one of your actions and maybe it's on the desktop or something. In my case, it is all my actions are in my cleaning work folder, and you will click on one of them, or you click on one and you can load it. So let's take for instance this manga one. So you load it in and it will automatically list all of them with the folder open. What the folder means is that it is grouped. All actions that are here are grouped into this singular folder. So I usually make this such that you know, certain items, be it manga series or specific manga series or actual jobs that I do. So this one I specifically use for quality checking. This one I made in the last tutorial. And I also changed this one. This used to be named High School. So you'll see in the next tutorial that this is actually called High School, because that's one of the series I work on. Manga is another action that I got from another group when I was first starting out. I've expanded on it into my more specific ones. Anyways, so when you get this, you will get a bunch of these. Now these are the actual actions that you will get. Okay? Each of these is a specific action that specifically does something. If you expand it, you will see these, and these are everything that this action does. What that means is that once you play this action with the play button down here, it will run through it. Now I already explained what actions are in the last tutorial, in the next tutorial, but I'll explain it again. Actions are when Photoshop records exactly what you do. So in some cases, like if you've ever worked in Excel, it's a macro. Okay, it's essentially something that is preloaded that you can continuously use over and over again. In this case, Photoshop will record every action you do, and I mean every action. That means you can literally go to a panel over here while it's recording, switch to a different tool, and select a different layer, and when you run that action, it will automatically switch to your new tool. It will automatically go to the selected layer you want, and you're done. Be careful though, there are a few things that it won't do. I believe sometimes the options up here won't be affected by the actions. So for example, if you wanted to change to a dodge tool, it will change to a dodge tool, but it won't change it to highlights automatically. So if you're on shadows for some unknown reason, it won't change it to highlights. And I don't believe that it will actually change the exposure either. But what Photoshop does do is it will save this anyways, so if you are on dodge and you hit highlights, it will remember that anyways. In addition to that, you must be very specific in what your names are for your layers, because if the action runs into a case where the layer that you wanted to use is not available, for example, if this layer was originally called background, which most imported things are, and you wanted, let's say you recorded yourself doing something to the background image, but in some case you edited the background image, in which case to edit a background image you would need to double click it and it auto names itself layer 0, I believe, in which case it will auto be named layer 0. If you press that action, which you recorded it with the background name, it will automatically stop to where the background is supposed to be and say it can't find the background image, aka it won't find the background layer, and it will ask you to either stop or continue. I suggest stopping and then renaming it and then continuing on from there, because if you don't and you continue it, you could mess up a bunch of things. So be very careful on your specifics. Now here's an example of what could happen. So when I go into here, it says layer via copy, make adjustment layer. Okay, let's see. It's been a while, so let's see if this works. See? Layer via copy is not currently available. So we can't use that. If you go to continue, it will just start doing some stuff, and it won't end up doing it. For example, if you did a lot of stuff with that layer that you can't find, it won't do it, and that's very annoying. But it will do everything else, which is really good. Okay, next up, if you get it to work, however, it will go through all of these and you are done. So let's take for an example actually getting it to work. So all of these have a specific purpose, okay? Depending on the user, they will have a specific purpose. You might not know what they are. Okay, so whenever you get an action from another person or another group, please be notified on what it does, because you might not know. I've incorporated my action for high school. It's called general, because you can use it for generalized, and I'll explain what each action does. Now switching, actually I've already I explain it in the next one, so don't worry about that. But I think I didn't explain what Preclean bulk finish does, saving after text cleaning bulk, and Finalize. So switching to the left will, when you do the ruler tool and you straighten it, you will see this straighten thing. So what switching to the left does is when you do the ruler tool and press play, it will automatically straighten it and then switch to the next image. Okay, it will switch to the next image, left. The right one will be a cropping one. So when you crop the image, I believe you can just do this and then hit switch right, and it will automatically accept the crop and then switch right. Okay, now pre-cleaning will organize all the folders. So here's how it will do. Here's what happens when it actually works. So after I've switched everything and cropped it, my background layer should become layer 0. Alright, so this is what I have for everything to do. Okay, now what it does is, I'll tell you what it mostly does here, but in the background it will scale the image to 1400 pixels, and that's about it. Everything else I'll explain when I actually use it. So let's use it. So as you can see, it's made a master layer and a master copy layer. It has turned my layer 0 into the original, and it has also created a leveled layer, and then it moves the tab to the right or left? Must be left. Okay, so it moved the tab to the left. Now, these three options are for bulk doing. It means I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm not doing everything of the cleaning at once. I'm doing a portion of the cleaning on each image over and over and over again until I'm done that certain part. And then I'm doing it all over again with another option. This allows me to maximize my time since I don't have to pay attention to clicking on different things and clicking on different tools. I can just, click an action, do it, click an action, do it. So anyways, so it also creates a new level. Alright, so that's what that does. The pre-clean bulk finish, all that does is it will save the image into a specific location. You will have to change this usually, I believe. Let's see. Yes, you will need to change this because what it does is it automatically saves it as a PSD in a specific file, and then it closes the file. So it will save this into a directory as a PSD, and then it will close the specific file, and usually that's when I'm done my first part of cleaning. The next part of cleaning comes in when I'm saving after the text. So what I do is I'll go into a file, I'll erase the text, I'll click this, and what it will do is it will save as, not save as, it will just save it because it's already in PSD. It will save it, then it will close the actual tab, and then it will select automatically the master layer so I can automatically begin using the brush tool. And I actually believe I don't know. I think it might automatically have me select the brush tool as well. If I don't, I'll probably add that in later. Okay, white dust. I explained this in the dusting section. All this does is it does exactly what I've explained before. Once you highlight with a selection tool, what this white dust will do is it will automatically create a leveled layer. It will over level it to get rid of most of the whites or blacks depending on what you're doing, and then it will merge it with the original. It will merge it with the original, and then it will rename it to master so that it doesn't look any different. I don't know what just happened there. My computer's running a bit slow because I have so much stuff going on. Maybe I'll just hold on. Okay. Anyways, so black dust does the exact same thing, except it will get rid of all the blacks. So use white dust obviously when you're highlighting the white portions, when you want the white areas. The black when you're using the black portions. I don't actually know what happened. Oh, invert for some reason. Anyways, okay. White dust check will do the exact same thing, except sorry, not really the exact same thing. What it will do is it will create an adjustment layer, then over level it so that you can see the dust more clearly, aka it will bring it out. And black dust will change the level that is already there and move it into another direction so that you can check for black dust. Be sure that you do white dust and black dust in sequential order. If you don't, you'll get an error like this. See? Because it is depending on the level 2 from white dust check. Now watch this. If you do white dust check, you'll get you'll get the actual levels 2, and then you do black dust check, and everything goes smoothly, as you can see. Finalize, what Finalize does is it will delete the layer that we don't really need, the one that we use for quality checking the dust. It will delete that, then it will save everything and close it. Okay, so that's what the actions do. That's what each of these actions do. Now it is important to organize your actions, because once you have too many, it will start getting cluttered. So it is very important to have each action in its own specific folder. For example, a more generalized action in one folder, a specific action for a specific series in another folder. Quality checking, certain things should be in certain folders, especially if you're working on magazine scans. Generalized ones are good for tanks and volume scans. You'll learn about this stuff as you go. For those of you who know the difference, I'll go more in depth into mag scans later, after I'm situated at home better. Anyways, so as I was saying, it's very important that you label these clearly for yourself, more so for yourself than for other people, and also label your folders very well, because if you don't, you will get confused as to what you're using. I specifically made this for myself, that's why I have it in such a way, but I've uploaded it for you all so that you can practice with it. I believe that's it. If you ever want to export an action, you highlight it, click this button, then go to Save Actions, and it will save it as a name in a certain area. Okay? The name of this is not the same as the name of the action. Okay? So I can save this as any name, and when I import it, it will come to manga. So you must actually double click on this and change this name for it to actually change. Also, in the actions, it's important to select. Okay, this may seem like a really stupid thing to say to people. Oh, of course I need to select, but if you select anywhere outside of the actual action, it will automatically deselect it and you can't play it. Okay, so even anything in here. Okay, so right here is fine. In here, if you select anything, it will automatically cancel it. So be sure you do that. And I don't even know what these things do, but I suggest not touching it because it does something, and I don't. It's weird. Make sure after you've done one action that you go to the next, press the action, go to the next, press the action, and such. I already explained in the next one how to make one, but I'll reiterate it real fast. How you make an action is, well, technically this is how you make an action right here. You must, for deleting actions, you must select them and then delete them. If you want to create an action, I'd suggest creating a group first, or a folder. Name that. So set 1. Then in the set, you create an action, so click on this. Create the action, name it whatever you want. You can name it colors. I just name it whatever I want. You can even have a function key for it, which means that you won't actually need to hit any of these buttons, hit play. You can just press the function key and it will automatically do it. So it's kind of like a hotkey basically. Then once you're good with the settings, press record, and it will now record everything you do. Paint bucket. Blah. Did it do anything? I don't know. It's lagging. Oh, it's because I'm on a master copy. Yeah, there we go. Well. And as you can see, it is recording everything I do. Now when I do that, I do this. See, it will automatically do it. So let's say I do this. Or let's say I delete this, make a new copy, same name though, of course, and then press this again. I don't even know what it did there, but I'm assuming it tried to fill everything. Anyways, point is, it will try to do it to the best of its abilities, but it is only a program, so don't be frustrated if it doesn't work your way. Just be mindful of what you do. Let me see, I was going to say something else about actions, and that was had something to do with deleting. Oh yes, okay, so let's say, of course, you are doing an action. So let's create a new action 2. So let's say you're going about your business, you know, selecting layers, creating layers, making levels, making some curves, and then you accidentally do something you're not supposed to. Well, this can be easily fixed, but let's say you accidentally make an invert, okay? And you don't want that. So you see this invert here, but if you delete it, it shows up in your thing. Well, you don't want that because it makes it look cluttered and it will just do a lot of stuff that you don't want it to do. Well, you can immediately press stop, select which ones you want to delete. So I wanted that one to delete. Oh, and I wanted to also not have this changed. And now you're stuck at when I just made the adjustment layer. So now you can start again. Okay? Now of course you should want, because deleting these won't delete what was done here. Okay? So you want to change it back to its original before you start again. But now you can start again. And what it will do is it will continue off from where you left off. Alright? Now, this even works in here. It will only do the one after you've selected those, so be careful. Alright? But you can do it anywhere. So let's say I wanted to resize it before anything. Then I click on the action 2 because that's the first one. It's technically the first one. Now it will make something after it. So I want to resize it to 1000. Oh my goodness, it didn't do it. Well then, another way you can do this is to do the image resize, then stop. Sorry. So let's say that happened, okay? And you stop it. You want this to be first, so you click it, drag, and it will now be first. And remember that when you want to continue off, select the next one, the first one, the latest one, and press record, and then do all you need to do, you know, selecting options, you know, doing some levels, organizing your folders, switch back and forth between tabs, stuff like that. And then press stop. And your action is all ready to go. Now all this will be in set 1 in the folder, so you make it all nice and easy and organized. And I believe that's all I really need to say about the actions. So I hope that was well, and continue on to the other ones. And also the next action one has a few things in there that I don't think I went through, so try to get through it. I think I go over some more important things about actions and such, but I can't remember. I'm too tired right now. But be sure to check it out. Skip through it a bit, because I think I've did most of what was done in this one in the first half, at least, on the next one. But yeah, try to get through it. And good luck on becoming a cleaner.